Hello, 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 my loves, and welcome back to another perfume video. Today we are going to be sampling DefineMe's Butterfly series Petite Perfume Kit. 7 signature scents from DefineMe. Now, this company does make one of my personal favorite scents, which is Nearly Noon, which is one of their collaborations with another designer, and I love this one. This is a very creamy, spicy, kind of rice pudding scent, which I really love, especially as a fall and winter scent. I think it is delightful. Now the sample set, these ones are their signature scents for the brand, so there are 7 that we are going to go through. We will be sniffing and talking about all 7 of them today. This will be a soft-spoken video with some spritzing sounds, some paper sounds from my little sample cards, and we'll just be chatting about these perfumes today. So if that sounds like something you would enjoy, get cozy, come relax with me, and let us get started. So, as we pop this open, there are 7 different scents in here. There is Laloo, Payton, Kahana, Clara, Delphine, Audrey, and Sophia, Isabelle. So I think we will just go through in order. Now, I have smelled these a long time ago, but have not recently, so this is practically an original try-on for me. I don't remember any of these. We will go through one by one, and I will talk to you first about my impressions before we look at the scent notes, just to see how we feel before the fragrance tells me how to feel, you know? Alright, let's see if we can pop the first one out of there. There we go. Alright, and okay, I think it does have the scent notes on the side, so I will just be not reading those. Let us pop this open and get out the little vial. So we've got our little sample tube, and I have my papers here, just strips of normal note paper that I have prepared to sample these on. So let's go ahead and give our first spritz of Laloo. Okay, let's see here. Had to think about it, but we got there. Let's let it air out for a second. Ooh, I am immediately getting vanilla. A lot of vanilla. Let's see. Alright, let's take a sniff. Yeah. It's very vanilla-y, very gourmand. It's very like warm and cozy. It's kind of caramelly. There's something a little bit, I wouldn't say quite musky, but like a very warm, rich base to this one. It's a little nutty almost, but dominantly very vanilla-y. I would say very sweet, very sugary. Like a little bit like more like warm, rich caramel than like a more sharp kind of, or artificial, like cotton candy smell. It is very warm, rich, deep. It makes you kind of think about like caramelizing sugar on the stove. Very straightforward. I would say nothing like really surprising about this one. It's like a classic rich vanilla scent. I don't have a huge amount to say about this one. It's nice. It smells like vanilla. Let's see. Alright. On the box, okay, perfect. Their description: Laloo is a decadent gourmand designed to captivate and beckon you to savor life's most indulgent moments, because you deserve it. And the scent notes they list are pistachio, marzipan, toasted praline, almond milk, explains all of the nutty smells, caramel, cream liqueur, and vanilla bean. Okay, so pretty much perfect. I feel like we nailed this one. So it is vanilla and caramel, which is exactly what I said. A little bit of creaminess from that cream liqueur, and then 4 different kinds of various nutty notes, and some creaminess from the almond milk as well. But exactly a nutty vanilla caramel scent. It's quite nice. There is nothing shocking about it. I will say, like, it's nice that there are a couple of different nuts in there, so it's more than just like one note, but it kind of smells like a vanilla body mist, you know, a nice vanilla body mist, but it doesn't feel super unique, which it doesn't have to be. Sometimes if you like a scent, it can be just a pleasant, nice vanilla scent, and there's nothing wrong with that. That is how I would group this. This is a pleasant, gourmand vanilla. Alright, let's set this one to the side. Alright, I have collected my fallen tube. Let's repack it. Put it back in its little box, and move on to our second scent. This one is Payton. Let us get in here. Alright, we've got our little vial and our paper. Let's go ahead and give her a spritz. Whew. Took a second, but that one was a big one once I got it. Oh, got some on my finger, and immediately there's a lot happening. Okay. Let's hope I like it, because it is living on my hand. Let's give this one a little air out. We are definitely in a more cologne kind of area, a lot more aromatic. I'm also worried I'm getting a perhaps hint of patchouli, which is not my go-to, but let's go in. Yeah, very like effervescent kind of smell. Okay, there's definitely something herbal to it. It feels a little bit kind of like aldehydes, like that could just be the alcohol settling. But there's something very like, it has a chemical component, like not in a bad way per se, but sometimes you can smell like that. I mean, it's the aldehyde components are when you can kind of smell an alcohol or a chemical kind of element. It can be nice in a scent. This one definitely, to me, leans a little bit towards the more masculine side. It's a little bit sweeter than a standard, like, men's cologne, but it has some of the same elements. There's a little bit of spice coming through at the bottom, too, which is pleasant. Like, this is the kind of thing that I would expect to smell, like, on somebody, like, a little sporty, a little fresh. Like, this feels like the kind of scent that somebody would wear, like, when you are just, I feel like the vision I'm having is somebody kind of androgynous who has just been to a sauna out in the woods and has then taken a nice crisp cold plunge, and then they get back together, they put on their clothes, and they give a little sprit of this before they walk out through a pine forest. It's refreshing, it's a little bit cologne-y, it's nice. I will say again, as with the first one, not a particularly unique scent to me. This one is not wildly dissimilar from kind of a standard men's cologne, like, respectfully. I could imagine this being a deodorant. And, like, I don't mean that as a bad thing. There are a lot of deodorants that smell great. But I totally feel like this could fall into the same camp as, like, oh, there was some time where I think it was Old Spice. I remember many moons ago. But I had some friends female friends who would buy a whole box set of, like, a sampler pack of different scents that Old Spice made that were all, like, pine frost and all of these different, like, manly nature names. And this feels like that kind of vibe of something that was, like, a luxurious basic, if that makes sense. Anyway, I have gabbed about it. Let's see what they say about it. I'm going to put my little paper down off to the side. Okay. Payton is the embodiment of unwavering determination and boundless passion, a fragrant manifesto that encourages the pursuit of dreams with fierce strength. Okay. Fascinating. It is supposed to smell like orange blossom, petitgrain, mimosa, cassis, clove buds, and cocoa. So the cocoa, I think, is that, like, a rich base note. I'm smelling it again. Like, I guess I smell it. There is something, I was talking about there being a little sweetness. I wish I could smell it more because I really like a chocolate chocolate scent. I really, really like a chocolate scent. Some of my all-time favorite scents are chocolate and dark cocoa scents. I'm not getting a ton of it in this one. I am also a little confused about all of the florals. Like, I guess there's some sweetness to it, but it feels very dominant to me in like more of the base notes. Maybe it would wear differently on skin, but I'm not totally getting all of that. I think it's maybe the petitgrain that has some of that like herbal quality that I was talking about. This one is another one. I think it's fine. I think it's fine. This one's not a scent for me. Like, I would be more likely to wear the first one because I like gourmands. This is perfectly pleasant. I would be happy to smell it on someone else. Let's slide it back into its box. There we go. And get out our next scent. So next we have Kahana. There we go. Let's get into this one. It's a beautiful blue. There we go. And get into here, and we have our vial. Let me get my paper and get us a spritz. Ooh. Was that enough? It clipped the edge. Let's see. Okay. Ooh. Yeah, no, I definitely smell it. I should never worry about if I'm getting enough. Of course I'm going to get enough. It's a strong perfume. Let's air it out a little bit. Okay, this one, very powdery. Immediately very, very powdery. I don't like powdery scents. It's like, it's very baby powder. It's very like stuffy, heady white florals. It's a kind of thing that like, I always feel like they get into my nose and then almost travel up. Like they're going right up into my brain, which obviously not how the scent works. It's fine. Well, to a degree. We can talk about scent perception at a different time. That's another conversation entirely. Yeah, it's so powdery that it's honestly hard for me to pick out anything else from it. I know I'm sensitive to more powdery smells, but this one is a punch you in the face powdery scent to me. It's kind of soapy a little bit under there, a little soapy, a little powdery. It is very clean, or like clean associations. Not clean in the way that it is fresh, but in a way that it literally smells like cleaning body products, powders, soaps. Like powder, soaps, detergents. I would not be, I imagine there's something a little floral in here, like almost like a lily of the valley or something that's like a flower that I think lends itself to being a little soapy. Okay. There is some sweetness there, almost a little bit of like a candied sugar kind of aspect, but honestly, I don't want to sniff it that many more times. It is not my favorite of the bunch. Through no fault of its own, if you like powdery scents, you will probably love this, but let's see what they say on the box. Kahana. Kahana is a serene escape in a bottle, an enchanting elixir that whispers relaxation and transports you to the shores of tranquility. That's making it sound really beachy, and I did not get beachy. Okay, it is supposed to smell like hibiscus, pink pepper, coconut water, white orchid, santal, and blonde woods. So nothing that is explicitly powdery. Maybe that white orchid is just doing a huge amount of legwork with the white florals, because white florals are often quite powdery. As it settles, like, I guess I can get a little bit more of like the spice of the, like the kind of hint of spice from the woods, but it is quite faint. I think I'm really just dominantly getting that white orchid, which is drowning out a lot of the other scents for me, which is a bummer because I love a pink pepper scent. I love peppery scents. Like, I guess I can see a hint of soapy. I think that hint of soapiness is maybe coming from the coconut water, because coconut can lean quite soapy sometimes. So I think that's possibly what's happening here. This definitely white floral leans towards the powdery side. Again, maybe with skin wear you'll get some more of those other notes, but this one, not my favorite, but a definite good pick if you like a strong white floral scent. And maybe a little beachy, kind of a beachy white floral scent. There we go. Secured back in her box. We're going to move on to the next scent. This one is Clara. Another pretty blue. Let's get into this box. Alright, we have got our vial here as well. Let me get my testing strip. This is the halfway point. We are at scent number 4. There we go. Okay. I just got like the strongest, weirdest scent memory of baby wipes. Like baby wipes or like makeup wipes or something, but it really hit me with that kind of like, it's not a soap smell, but it's like a cleaner smell that comes on a wipe, you know? Very strange. Okay, interesting. Oh, okay. Definitely different when you go in for a sniff. Okay, I still stick by, like, it feels like a cleaner adjacent scent. That is not necessarily a bad thing. I think there are a lot of really pleasant scents that can come with cleaning products. This one, it definitely has some florals. It leans a little fruitier. Huh. It's really interesting. I don't mind this one. It also, I know I've talked about this, said this kind of same comment before in other videos. It kind of reminds me of a shampoo smell, like, and again, not in a bad way, but like a Garnier Fructis or some kind of like thing in that world of like a kind of fruity, kind of floral scent, but like kind of almost like a base of cucumber. There's something that's supposed to have like a fresh spa scent to it. This one is pleasant, I will say. It feels nostalgic in a way, and not just in the baby wipe way. Though I still do get a hint of that. I think that kind of nostalgic, like shampoo, fruity, floral kind of direction. I will say there aren't a lot of distinct notes I can pick out of this one. It's kind of turned into an amalgamation, which, you know, for better or worse, sometimes I like to be able to pick out distinct notes, but when it has its own signature scent, that is okay as well. It honestly, I don't know if my nose is just a little stuffed, but I feel like this one's kind of disappearing the longer it's on the paper. Yeah, there's definite florals. It's almost like a little bit of like a spicier floral. Not that I think it's like actually a spice, but some florals, like some are very floaty on the nose, some are a little more herbaceous and kind of hit the nose at a deeper level. That's kind of what I'm getting here. But this one's a little bit of a mystery to me, I confess. Let's see what it is together. Clara is a poetic ode to gratitude and grace, a fragrance that awakens and embraces your inner spirit. It is blue violet, lily, hibiscus, lilac, powder, and oak moss. I'm really surprised that this is the powder scent after the last one was so powdery. Like, I guess that's maybe leaning into those like cleaner kind of feelings I was having, and maybe the baby scents. I would honestly say that this one to my nose is not super powdery, but yeah, this tracks with like, I think the violet, that violet is like the slightly more like herbaceous, complex kind of floral that I was getting. A little bit of lilac makes sense. Yeah, it's nice, clean florals. Yeah, clean florals. I think that's the good term for it, plus a little oak moss. It gives that a slight bit of richness at the base. This one is perfectly pleasant. Again, I would say nothing groundbreaking, nothing shocking, but a pleasant, clean floral scent. Yeah, perfectly nice. All right, let's return her to her box. And get out our 5th scent, which is going to be Delphine. And let's get in here. All right, I have our vial and my paper. Let's give it a spritz. Ooh, right out of there. Did not take much priming. Ooh, another very effervescent floral coming right off the paper. Some florals, I think it might be a lilac on this one, but they're so like almost bubbly to me that they hit in a way, and I think it's maybe the tie of the purple in my mind, but it smells at first almost just a little bit like grape candy, like not specific, like when I continue to smell it I won't think it smells like grape candy, but just those little top notes of sweetness, like purple bubbly sweetness, it occupies the same place in my mind. But let's give her a sniff. Yeah, okay, definitely very sweet, bubbly florals. These ones, I think much more like nectar rich. It smells like a sweet, juicy floral. Yeah, I would guess lilac for sure in there. I would be surprised if it's not in there. And some other like really juicy kind of floral scents. Yeah, like this smells like something a hummingbird would love to find. It wants to dip its beak right in there and like slurp up some flower nectar. Yeah, there's just a hint of something a little warmer and richer at the base, but very dominantly floral. In that base, like there's just like a whisper. I wonder if it's a woods or something, because like barest hint of something rich and a tiny bit spicy, but it's very dominantly floral. This one does lean a little more powdery and white floral. Again, I think this is why I don't remember, honestly, having a huge positive impression of this scent as somebody who doesn't like white florals and doesn't really like powdery scents. It feels like it's leaning in that direction for another scent, which, you know, if that's something you like, definitely pick up this set. It'll 100% be something you will enjoy. Yeah, I feel like it's getting powderier as it dries down. This one I think I would say I like more than some of the previous like powdery and white floral scents, because it just feels a little like sweeter and juicier, and that's definitely the direction I tend to lean with scents. I really like fruity gourmand kind of things. Yeah, it has an effervescence to it, which I appreciate. It's still like a pretty classic floral scent, but something a little bubbly on top, which I appreciate. So let's look at the notes that this one has. Delphine inspires boundless creativity and a world of imagination, elevating your senses to a realm of pure olfactory artistry. And it is lilac, first note. Anytime I nail one, I feel like I've just passed a test, you know? A test set by nobody but me, but like that's a little like special student gold star goes off, like, yes, I did it. But lilac, gardenia, ylang ylang, freesia, that's the white florals, I think. Coconut and rosewood. Yes, oh my gosh, we nailed this one. That rosewood really explains a lot, because I was saying there's just a hint of like something warm and a tiny bit spicy, and rosewood has that, but to me rosewood leans a lot brighter and sweeter than a lot of other wood scents. Like it's not as deep and spicy as like a cedar or something like that, but just a hint of a sweet, spicy, rich base note that makes a lot of sense to me. The coconut is a little surprising. Again, maybe that's lending itself to that like soapiness of the scent. I do get a little bit of it, but it definitely, the florals dominate in this one. I would say, again, not a typical me scent, but for something that is quite heavy in white florals and you know, a more generic floral scent, I think this one is more fun. I like the effervescence and the kind of the fun of it. It's a playful floral scent. If you want a playful take on a very classic floral, I definitely think Delphine is a fun one. So I feel like my lip gloss is wearing off. Let's do a quick top up. Here we go. Don't mind me. using my camera as a mirror. There we go. I feel better now. Alright, let's go in for our next scent, which is Audrey. There we go. Hard to see the reflection with the reflective light, but I quite like the bright pink of this box. Excellent. I'm trying not to look at the notes. I almost got a little hint there, but you know, honestly, nothing that surprises me based on the color of the box. Alright, let's give Audrey a spritz. Oop. Okay, this spritzer is a little sticky, a little stubborn, but I'm glad we got something out of there. Let's give her a little air out. Ooh, I'm immediately getting notes that are much more exciting to me. But let's give her a second to air out. Okay, let's see. Oh, yes, 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 yes. We are back in my territory of perfumes. Very sweet, very juicy, a drippy, sweet, indulgent scent. This one, a lot fruitier than the past one. Still floral, but fruity. Yeah, definitely. So this one, I confess, I can't pretend this one is straight off the dome because I did peek at a couple of the top words in the scent, but they're so clear that I pinky promise you, I feel like I would have guessed it even without reading the notes. I am definitely getting lychee from this. It's that really like rich syrupy fruitiness of it that is just, it's so fresh and like it's just a certain kind of tropical sweetness that I really, really like. And it melds really beautifully with the florals. This one I think is a very rose heavy scent. And I really enjoy a rose scent. They're very classic, but I think can blend so well with so many different scents, especially fruity scents. I have some rose perfumes that I quite like that are like a jammy rose kind of scents where they mix in sweet, rich fruits, and it really turns rose into a much more decadent, less powdery, more decadent. They're really rich, like a super, like almost past its prime rose that has become so just rich in color, so open, so, like I keep wanting to say ripe like a fruit, which is not the same for a rose, but it's the same idea. Yeah, this one definitely leans sweet, indulgent, gourmand. There is a little hint of something rich at the base. This one is quite heady, which again, I like. I like those kind of drippy, rich gourmands. Yeah, I would suspect there's probably another fruit, another floral, but the dominant are definitely, I think, to me, that rose and that lychee. This one is another scent. I wouldn't say any of these scents have been particularly complex to me. Nothing, like, I like a scent that kind of challenges you and makes you go, ooh, what is that? These are all very pleasant and kind of easy on the nose, which, you know, not a sin. Not a sin in a perfume. There's nothing wrong with that. Not my usual wheelhouse, but I do like it. So let's go into the notes for this one. Audrey is an enchanting olfactory journey that embodies the essence of self-love and well-being. Lychee, peony, okay, then pink rose. Peony makes sense in that same world of like really rich kind of juicy florals. Jasmine. I'm surprised, honestly, because jasmine can be quite dominant in a scent. And I do get it, but it is, I think, well balanced. It's easy to let jasmine to overwhelm things. Magnolia, again, in that rich floral vein. Atlas cedar, I think getting that little bit of spiciness in the base, and sandalwood. And I quite like a sandalwood scent. This one I find to be pretty light on the woods. But I think it's coming through, it actually is coming through a little more now that some of those top notes have settled down. I think it'd probably be very pleasant on the skin with that hit of sweetness and wearing into something a little richer and spicier. This one for me, definitely the standout so far. Still, you know, I don't think it would be something I reached for every day, but a really pleasant, pretty scent that I think I will give some skin wear. I think it's quite nice. I like this one. let us set that aside. Rebox Audrey. There we go. And it is time for our last scent of the night. This one in orange, Sophia, Isabelle. There we go. Let us crack her open. Alright, my final paper, and let's give her a spritz. Whoa, there we go. Third time was the charm, but big spritz once we got there. Let's air this one out. Ooh, immediate alcohol hit. Let's get it into the air a little bit. Alright. I'm gonna go in for a sniff. Ooh. Wow. Okay. I talked about baby powder and baby wipes before. I take it back because we are right back there and stronger than ever before. Okay, the initial baby product is wearing off a little bit. We are getting into something sweeter and fruitier, kind of back in the shampoo territory. Ooh, there is something I like in here though. Oh, it's something that feels fruity and familiar, but I'm like failing to quite place it. Again, a hint of something spicy, slightly spicy at the base. I feel like a lot of these perfumes are kind of following the same formula, even if they have slightly different scent notes. This one, I do find more pleasant than some of them. I find it skews, like, again, it's a pretty sweet, like, floral fruit scent. For some reason, this skews, like, it feels a little more like juniors to me, and I don't mean that in a derogatory way, but, like, the nostalgia of, like, the kind of teen body mist that you would get, that you would, like, keep in your locker in high school or something. Yeah, I mean, it's another pretty classic sweet floral. This one, again, a hint of a slightly spicier floral, I would say. But maybe something a little white in there. Not aggressively, assertively so. Sweet, pleasant, honestly hard to pick out distinct notes from. So let's see what the box has to say. Sophia Isabelle is an intoxicating elixir that beckons you to embrace life with the unbridled spirit of confidence. It is a fragrant manifestation of living freely and without hesitation. Oh. Okay, I'm shocked. I just skimmed the box. This was nothing I got from this. I was getting dominantly florals, and the first notes are mandarin and tangerine. I did not get any citrus, and citrus is usually quite strong. Then black currant, jasmine, which is the only listed floral, vanilla bean, and brown sugar, which is explaining the sweetness. And I think maybe that more juniors quality I was getting. I'm really sniffing this, and I am getting no citrus, which is it's confusing and also honestly disappointing. I love a citrus scent. I am always hunting for, like, sweeter, juicier, richer, more delicious citrus scents. And I am getting very, very little citrus from this. Maybe the black currant is, like, the kind of fruitiness that I was trying to place. Like, that's not something that easily comes to the tip of my tongue, because it's not something I really smell in the day-to-day, but makes sense in that kind of, like, berry scent vein. And the jasmine fills the floral niche. I'm really huffing this, like, hoping to get citrus. I'm touching it to my nose. I am not getting it. This one is confusing to me. Honestly, like, I would ask if it was, like, I would think it was too old or something, but an alcohol-based scent shouldn't disappear that quickly. This one is puzzling me. Like, again, I will have to sniff this another time, because in theory I would love a mandarin and tangerine scent, but I'm really not picking that out at all. It's another one that smells like fine, sweet, kind of generic. Nothing offensive about it, but nothing particularly unique. And there's something odd in this one. Like, almost like a hint of something starchy, like a Play-Doh. Which, another weird note to say, but... You know what? I want to spritz this one a second time just to see if that first hit, because often that's where some of the top notes live, I wonder if they disappear really quickly, if we'll get more citrus. I just want to give it another chance. I kind of missed a little bit with that one, but we got some on there. Okay, I will say, okay, I got a little alcohol in there too. The, like, immediate first hit, I get more of the citrus, but ooh, it disappears so fast. Because, like, I'm already struggling to find it again. Like, the very first sniff, it was nice. It was nice. Like, I think if that lasted, if that had more lasting power, which, hey, maybe it does on the skin, I hope it does. Because, like, I really liked that, and it made it a more interesting scent to me. But it wears down so fast, and I'm really, like, struggling to find that citrus. Which is a bummer, because I think I would really enjoy it if it was a more citrusy scent. So, for me, I will say, I think we all know my clear winner. My clear winner is Miss Audrey, scent number 6 today. The lychee and pink rose scent. I quite like this one. I think I will, in fact, start wearing this one. I really enjoyed it. I don't think it'll be every day, but I think I will give it a few spritzes, give it a few wear tests. I found this one quite pleasant. On the whole, as a scent box with all 7 of these different perfumes, the kind of general review I would say is there is nothing that shocked me, nothing that particularly wowed me in here, but none that were egregious either, nothing that was shocking. These are all quite pleasant scents. They're nicely balanced, especially if you like something that kind of melds together into one cohesive scent rather than pick out the different notes. I feel like they lean in kind of like a more clean, beachy vibes direction, which, to be fair, is not my usual palette, my usual scent palette, so it's not entirely a surprise that these are not all 100% up my alley. I remember Laloo, where we started with the sweet vanilla, was quite pleasant as well. If you like vanilla scent, if you like powdery florals, you're going to do really well in that whole middle section here. And if you like me, like a sweet jammy gourmand, Audrey's your girl. But I think that will do it for today's little sniff through of the Define Me sampler set. Again, this was the Define Me Butterfly Series Petite Perfume set. I hope that you enjoyed. Thank you so much for watching along with me, and I would say sniffing along with me, but I suppose you were imagining the scents with me. I hope I was descriptive enough for you to feel like you were part of the process. If you enjoyed this, I have several other videos doing perfume sampling. This is one of my favorite kinds of videos to make. But thank you so much for joining me. Make sure to subscribe if you would like to see more videos like this. And I hope I will see you in our next video. But for now, I hope that you are having a good day or night and are super duper cozy.